It is important that dating back to the first millennial AD, Africans existed in Europe, and from about 711 AD to 1492, most Spanish. Why are you creeping? Stop it. Even though it don't matter right now. It is important to note that dating back to the first millennial AD, Africans existed in Europe, and from about 711 AD to 1492, most of Spain was under Moorish control. Consequently, the Spanish colonizers who ventured forth to settle lands outside of Europe did so while harboring color, prejudice associated with their subjugation, but racial categories as we know them had not been used to justify the denial of basic rights, which were controlled through the church. By contrast, Europeans knew Africa to be a wealthy, advanced continent in many areas of development and education. When the American colonizers settled the Atlantic slave trade, they weren't simply grabbing people out of the trees as many people were led to believe. They were targeting well-established kingdoms weakened by internal strife with civilizations who had the skills required to develop the colony enterprises, including advanced agriculture practices, metalwork, navigation, and shipbuilding, as well as the resources from the lands themselves. Race didn't begin to take on its modern meanings until the mid-16th century, and the terms and meanings that we now see race in which we have it in the U.S. today, until the early 20th century. Now, that being said, the point of all of that is America invented race in the early 1920s, right? And it's just a way in law to, well, create a working class. Now, that being explained to show this is the fact that if all humans on this planet, because when I say brothers, I mean like everybody is. Most people don't really mean that, because I had a sense of genetics first, right? And so in genetics, we have this thing called DNA, right? We all know about DNA, right? Okay, you get half from your mother from some chromosomes, not to get real detailed into this, and you get half from your father, right? But the mother's is the only one who's consistently passed down from every person on this planet throughout all time. Okay? So every person on this planet shares the exact same mitochondrial DNA, because that's the base pair strand that's shared from women throughout history. And this is factual. So this basically says that all these Homo sapien people on this planet that we know factually derived from, I won't even get into all this from, but basically from one people, one person, one mother. So there's no race, there's none of that, and there's basically only people, right? And the same as in dogs and cats and everything else, and we're too stupid to even obviously see in trees and everything else. There's a variance within all of this same life form, right? So, I don't think I need to say anymore.